thank you so much for everybody leading up to this. To hear everybody's words is so empowering and emotional in a lot of ways, that we're really excited to present what we've also been working on in the South Baltimore Land Trust up into this point, which has been a long time coming. We've been working on a project for almost 2 years. Melanie and I have met probably about a year and a half through the Neighborhood Design Center, and we built up a relationship over that year and a half where we've had to really look at how we address through this opportunity the underlining values of the land trust, and what does that look like when we're trying to build for new and set the standard for the direction that this can go. So we've had the honor of being tasked with that. Anbar and my colleague and I have really been devoted to this process to make sure that because we truly do believe that design is a right for all, and not just for its aesthetic value, but to design our change and to really address our limitations. And so when we set the standards for this development, we really were looking at how we want to go about it. How does it look at what Baltimore could be, and how does that play into the development? We're looking at 10 units. 50% of those are going to be they're going to be 50% AMI for ownership in the neighborhood, which means these are not rentals. These will be going to permanent residents, and they will be fitting the 50% average medium income of this neighborhood. And of those 10 units, there's 3 different buildings. There's a 6-unit building that's on the inner side of one of the right at the core of Curtis Bay, which, as Melanie was describing, is at the epicenter of a lot of different industries which are polluting that area. So it's right dead center of all these areas, downwind, upwind. I mean, it's really at the home of a lot of problems that need to be solved. And with the ownership, we want to make sure that we have of the 10 units, we have age in place and full. So 60% of the units are going to be fully accessible. We are consolidating 8 lots to provide a 6-unit building, and then another duplex, which will be a renovation of an existing single family, and the 6-unit will be a new construction. And then adjacent on the west side of the lot will be another duplex, totaling the 10 units. So we are also be looking at creating a community park that will connect the sites together from one street to the other, which will be an easement allowed for the public. If we can go to the site plan, that'd be great, for the 6S and 2E unit. That will show the pathway through the site, and the connection from Benjamin Franklin High School through there, which will also be an opportunity for the community to gather in that space, where we're planning on having engagement with the community itself, and building out the park to be used for community events and parties. There's going to be games and things, and that's all right next to these units and be shared by the community. It'll also have recycling bins that the community has already provided up to this point. We're setting the standard with energy by using a technique called Passive House. It provides a really strict structure for accountability through the building standard. And with that, we're going to be reducing the energy overall by about 90%. What this is going to, how we achieve that is done by focusing in on the details, the quality of construction at the envelope scale, where we're really looking about how tight the building is going to be and how insulated it is. And then that reduces the energy usage of that building by 90%. And then we can offset this building to be a net zero to net positive building with bringing site solar onto the building. And then that will offset any energy that the building would need. So that is a standard that we're looking to provide in this building, we're already on track for, and that's going to set the standard that will also be add benefits to the residents, where it's going to have clean air it's in, because it's so airtight. It's very much focused on how the air quality is. So these pollutants that surround these neighborhoods, until we can beat this beast down completely and get rid of all of them, like these homes are going to provide clean air in perpetuity for these units for ownership. So this would be something that really does look at how the quality of air is one of the most important aspects of the entire build. So that's something that is really playing its part in this and helping to provide resiliency for this neighborhood. The energy usage being reduced down allows the building and producing it on site allows us to mitigate the vulnerability to brownouts on our current, and by even using our current aging infrastructure, we're really not even asking we're not asking for coal to be used and produce more pollutants. We're not asking for anything. That's the main thing, is that we're trying to make sure that we reduce our carbon emission down to zero. And also in that, we're also going to be reducing the energy bill of these tenants to nothing. It also limits the economic vulnerability to the residents most in need. So it solves a lot of issues by putting such a high energy standard onto a building in this area. So we are also with this looking at skilled labor and how it is very important to this whole build, where we're going to be working with workforce and local GCs on this project to build up the workforce and provide skilled, and those careers that Mayor Scott was mentioning, is that there's a big opportunity here for renovation and new construction techniques in building sciences, to really where we can start to provide these opportunities to the next generation that can start to tackle these problems, because these are perpetual problems where they're not going away anytime soon. So we need to throw everything at it we possibly can. So it's a huge opportunity for these industries, local industries, to start making their own buildings that provide them the resiliency that they need to tackle these bigger, larger systemic issues. And this is why we feel like it's so incredible that the land trust, the bar, the South Baltimore Land Trust has set, that it's starting to say there's no limitation to what is possible. We focus on this and be determined to get to that point, and where we're seeing this start to really this momentum to start to build. And so we're really excited to be playing a part, and we're also excited to see Baltimore embrace this and also look to how do we build up the things that we're still missing, and the skilled labor and the workforce is something that we're really focused on our next, as we get closer towards the build, that we want to have connections with the vocational schools. We want to have connections with the local high schools for engineering services. There's a whole spinoff of opportunities for careers, good paying local jobs that can be stimulated from this. So we're really looking forward to what this can provide in the next stages of it. And we hope that everybody here tunes back in about, this year and throughout its completion, to see this building come along, because we think it's going to really start to set the standard, but we have a long way to go.
Thanks,
So, okay. So
yeah.
I think I covered it.
Yeah, thank you, Jason. Anbar, really quickly, did you want to say something about, being a woman in design really quickly, and then we'll move on to our next person.
It's just great to be a part of this and come back to Baltimore. I recently graduated, come back to Baltimore, be able to communicate with a diverse group of people who are also dedicated and willing to make a change. And I'm super excited to be a part of this. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Anbar. We appreciate you. And thank you both again.